Hey everyone, Karen Debs here, FlexibleWarrior.com. Today's segment, less than 10 minutes, so that I know that you can do that, you can commit to that. We're going to do some hip openers and heart openers. Okay, let's start in child's pose and get right to it. Settle your hips back onto your heels. Always check in with how your body's feeling, making sure that you honor, protect, and listen to your body first and foremost. On your inhale, shift forward to your hands and knees, spread your fingertips out wide, curl your toes, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths in there, just really grounding yourself, dropping your heels, pressing through every part of your hand. Lift your tailbone up to the sky and take one more breath. On your next inhale, shift forward to a plank pose. Bend your elbows, lower all the way or halfway down to the mat. Inhale into a back bend, pause and take a deep breath in. Let's look over one shoulder, get a little twist. Look over the other shoulder, twist through the spine. Come back to center and push into downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, draw forward, bring your knee to your wrist. This is a great stretch series, by the way, to do after a run. Perfect. Only 10 minutes. Go ahead and drop your forearms down, settling into your right hip. Let's take 5 deep breaths in and out through your nose. As you exhale, really, settling in and relaxing any tension that you're holding in that hip. You can rock a little bit from right to left. And then on the next breath in, I want you to go ahead and walk your hands back and come into a little bit of a heart opener. So just really draw the shoulders down, lift the heart up, and feel as if you're back bending a little bit into this pose. Good. Perfect. Especially for runners, as you fatigue and stuff and you kind of round forward, it's really good to just focus on lifting and opening the heart. We're going to bring the left forearm down to the mat, and then for some of you, you'll be able to reach back. Let me turn to the side a little bit so you can see. You'll be able to reach back and grab your left foot with your right hand. If that is out of your reach, feels uncomfortable, it's just not somewhere that you want to go, then just stay with this pigeon pose that you did earlier, okay? Either way, it's all good. You're adding a little bit of an extra heart opener and a little bit of an extra quad hip flexor stretch. Take one more breath, and then go ahead and slowly release from that. You can spread your fingertips out wide and step back to plank pose. From there, bend your elbows, lower half or all the way down to the mat. Inhale into your back bend, take a deep breath in. Look over one shoulder, get a little twist of the spine, other shoulder. It just feels good to do that, kind of move around a little bit, and then push back into your downward dog. Left foot up to the sky, and then bend your left knee, and bring your left knee to your left wrist. Okay, go ahead and bring your forearms down, dropping into your pigeon stretch. Again, feel free to rock around a little bit. Get that tight area in your hip open. Good. So from here, you have the option to, let's come into the back bend first. Open your heart, pull your shoulders back, and then I'll give you that optional half bound pose. So from here, you can go ahead and bring your forearms back down. Your right forearm will be down, your right knee is going to bend, and you're going to try to find your right foot with your right hand. With your left hand, excuse me. So it's opposite foot to hand. So you're going to reach back and grab the foot with your hand. So you're getting a little rotation through your spine. You can look up and over your shoulder. Get a nice stretch through that back quad. Should feel pretty good. Again, if that's out of your reach, then you just stay here in your pigeon. And you know what? It's all good, right? It's all good. As long as you're moving, breathing, and stretching, it is all good. Go ahead and lift yourself back up. Spread your fingertips out wide. Make sure your hands are shoulder width distance apart, and push back to downward facing dog. So the next series, we're gonna continue on, add a little bit of variation. So your right leg's gonna lift back up. You're gonna step your right foot to be outside of your pinky finger, So, okay? And then you're gonna lower your left forearm. Now, so for some of you, this is gonna be plenty of a stretch. You're gonna feel it in your hip flexor, you're gonna feel it in your hip, and you might just wanna stay right here. But for others, you can bring your left forearm down and you're gonna roll to the pinky toe side of your right foot and externally rotate that hip, and then rotate through the spine a little bit and get a nice stretch through your hip. Wow, that feels good. Okay, take 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose. No forcing. Your hand is here to support. You can gently guide it open. Don't shove it open. Right? Right. Go ahead and bring it back to center, and then lift it back up. and come back to child's pose. Now this time I want you to come into a wide leg child's pose. So your knees are going to be out a little bit wider than your hips, and your forehead's going to release down. This is a nice groin inner thigh stretch, and it allows you to melt your chest down towards the ground a little bit more and get that stretch through the front of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in here, and then go ahead and come back to center, and let's get that on the other side. So lifting up to downward facing dog first, left foot up to the sky, left foot up to the outside of your pinky finger, knee comes down. Again, if this is enough of a stretch for you, if you're feeling it through the hip flexor and the hip on this front leg, fine, just stay right here. Otherwise, you can bring your right forearm down and you pivot to the pinky toe side of your left foot, externally rotating that knee. Give it a gentle press open so you feel that stretch through your hip. So good. So good. Take one more deep breath in here. And then bring it back to center. Okay, prop yourself up. We're gonna do one more of those wide leg child's pose. So knees together, knees out wide, toes together, forehead dropping down. So take your knees as wide as they will comfortably go, so you can get a good stretch to the groin inner thigh, which is the opposing muscle groups to the hip. And so sometimes when the groin inner thigh is really tight, you know, it's all attached and it all affects each other. So making sure that you stretch the opposing muscle groups as well. Take one more deep breath in here. And then go ahead and shift your weight forward and have a seat. Good. So we're going to do that exact same stretch in a seated position, cobbler's pose or butterfly stretch. So grab onto your ankles, pull them a little bit closer to you. Bend your elbows and press them gently into your knees. Good. Now just lift your heart again. Think of that lifting through the heart like we practiced earlier. And as you exhale, you can fold a little bit deeper. So if you feel like you want to slide your feet a little bit further away from you, that makes the stretch a little less. Do that. The feet a little closer to you is going to make the stretch a little bit more intense. And it's not about how far you're getting in the stretch, right? It's just about the fact that you're moving, stretching, breathing, you know, opening up some tight places in your body. Let's take one more breath here. And then go ahead and lift it up. I just want you to take your right foot, cross it across your left ankle, just like this, and then slide your knees together if you can, like stacking your knees as close to on top of each other as you can. This is a great hip opener too. And I can't quite get there where the knees are stacked, but it doesn't matter because I'm still getting a great stretch, right? And same with you. So it's, you know, it's try to really let go of that competitive side of you and just be good with the fact that you're opening up a tight place in your body. Walk your hands a little bit forward, fold into this, get that great stretch through your hips. Fold a little bit more deeply if you can. And go ahead and walk it up. You're going to take your hands out behind you. You're going to shift back. You're just going to recross. So the left is over the right. Did you get that? Left over right. And then you can grab onto your feet and scoot yourself a little bit more deeply into this. So again, you're trying to stack your knees one on top of each other. You might get there, you might not. Are you feeling a stretch? Okay, and you're doing it right. I don't want you to feel strain on your knees. I don't want you to feel strain on your hips. If you're feeling a good stretch and you know it's a tight area that needs a little attention and it feels good, that's the rule. If it feels good, you're doing it right. Walk your hands forward, fold into this, take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. I'm so glad you took this little time out with me. Go ahead and unfold yourself, hands out behind you one more time. Shake out your legs and then just have a seat. All right, you guys, hands at heart center, good job. Take a deep breath in, good energy and strength for the day. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Namaste. You can find out more videos on my YouTube channel at Flexible Warrior Yoga. I have hundreds of videos there, so you can check them out and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, send me any requests as well. I'm always open to requests if there's a certain yoga sequence that you feel like your body is craving. Okay, bye.